guys, welcome back to my channel and to the final episode of this Halloween makeup series. This last look has been what all of this has been building up to. It's going to be the most intense, the most gung-ho Halloween out of all 4 looks. If you haven't seen my first 3 looks, I will leave them linked down below in the description. The first was a stitched up doll, the second was a creepy jack-o'-lantern, and the third was a melting ice cream cone. This week, our look is going to be a pop art zombie. You can create this look using all things that you might already have at home or could very easily go pick up at your local drugstore. The first part of this look is completely optional, but it's something that I thought would look really cool, and that is some ice blue contacts. I'm gonna go throw those on off camera and then we can get started with the video. First things first, we want to outline everything that we're going to be doing. I'm going to use a white pomade to do this. You can use a white pencil, anything that is not permanent, and you can cover it up or wipe it away very easily. This is a very basic outline of where your main features are going to go. We're going to start with some brains up top. We're going to add in a melting eye socket. Obviously, we're going to have some jaw exposed, as well as a little bit of your vertebrae in your neck. Possibly add in some more teeth or jaw on the other side of our face, and we can't forget the decaying nose. This is just an outline for where I don't want to put my base color, which is going to be blue. You can use whatever you have at home for this next part, whether that be some eyeshadows or some Halloween makeup. I'm going to be using my Kat Von D brow pomade in Satellite Blue, and I'm going to fill in all the areas around that white. I'm going to finish coloring all of this in off camera, and then I'll be back to start filling in some details. Now that we are the majority blue, I want to go in and end my neck somehow, since I'm not going to be painting the rest of my body. So I'm going to go back in that white, and I'm just going to draw out some drips around the base of my neck to mark an end to this zombie takeover. So that this look doesn't look too flat, I want to add some dimension to it using highlighting. So while this is still a little bit tacky, I'm going to go back in with just a little bit of white on a wet beauty blender, and I'm going to dab this into the places that I would normally highlight with concealer. So my cheeks, the center of my forehead, my chin, and a little bit down my nose. To blend that in together and make it look seamless, just take a little bit more blue and dab it over top of the wet white. Before we move on to adding any other details into the face, I want to focus on the eyes. Like the last video, the eyes aren't going to be too intense, but we want to give them some shape so that they're not so flat. To do this, I'm going to just be using some simple shades of blue as well as some white. First, I'm going to take a white eyeshadow on my finger and just lightly dab this over the inner thirds of both of my eyes. Then I'm going to go in with a fluffy brush and a blue eyeshadow that's very similar to the color of the rest of my face, and I'm just going to fade these two together throughout the crease and into the outer third of my eye. Then on a smaller blending brush, I'm going to take a slightly deeper blue and work that into my crease and the outer V of my eye. Because this is a pop art zombie, black lines are a big detail that needs to be added. So I'm going to start that off with a nice winged black liner off camera. Then we will come back and start filling in some of these details. I'm going to start out by roughly outlining the teeth on either side of my mouth. Then I'm going to go in to adding some vertebrae along my neck, as well as some dripping along the edge of my skull where my brain is going to be popping out. Obviously, you have to add the classic pop art tear, and then I'm gonna go ahead and add some more drips here and there along the face. The top part of our skull is gonna be brains. So to lay down a base for this, to make sure that our eyeshadow really pops and is vibrant, I'm gonna lay down some white first, and then I'm gonna go over it with a pink eyeshadow. To create the brain matter, I'm going to use a black pencil and outline some squiggly shapes to make it look like a brain. On a smaller detail brush, I'm going to take a more vibrant pink and go around and hit the outer edges of all of that brain matter to make it pop just a little bit more. At this point, it seems only fitting to move on to the oozing brain. I want to make it look like my body is excreting disgusting decay. So I'm gonna go back in with some white cream, and I'm gonna cover up this entire ooze, and then I'm gonna go over it with some yellowy green eyeshadow. Once you have that nicely covered with that yellow-green, you're then going to outline that entire piece using a black eyeliner. Once that's outlined, we're going to shade all of that using some navy, and then we're going to go back with some black and hit the highest points of those curves. I'm also going to go back with some white and highlight all of that goo. The top of the head is looking pretty good, so now I'm going to move on to the center part of my face, which is my two eyes. This side we're going to continue this goo, so we're going to do the same thing and lay down some white and then put some of that yellow-green over top. Once that's filled in, I'm going to give that a big thick outline in black as well. We're going to add some drooping lines to this falling socket and then shade all of those using a little bit of a darker green before going and shading the entire socket itself with the same blue and black that we used for the dripping forehead. The dripping tear is going to be a little bit of a lighter blue, so I'm going to go ahead and fill all of that in with white again. Once that tear is filled in with blue, I'm going to take some white eyeshadow and highlight some of those drips. And then of course we're going to outline that in a nice thick black line as well and shade around the outside using the same navy blue and black as everything else. To finish off the center area of that face, we're of course then going to go in with some pure white and highlight the highest points of all of that. I think it's safe enough now to finally fill in my eyebrows, so I'm going to do that off camera and then we'll be back to do the mouth. Eyebrows are on. I'm going to start with the teeth now. I want to kind of make this area look like gummy jaw, and then obviously the teeth are just going to be white. So I'm gonna start with the pink first so that it doesn't get all mixed up in the white. For this pink, I'm gonna use something that's a little bit darker than what I used for the brain. I'm gonna go in with this neon pink right here, and I'm just gonna go straight in with my finger. I'm not laying down a layer of white first, even though this is probably gonna stain my skin. Once that's filled in, I'm going to go back in between each tooth with a little bit of black. With a deeper raspberry shade, I'm going to go back and blend that black into the pink before filling my teeth in with white. You can then go back and outline all of that in your thick black line, including the teeth, and you can even add some dimension to the tops of the bottom teeth with the same black liner. Once we've finished outlining all of these parts in black, I'm going to shade the outside of them using the same navy and black that we used for the rest of the face. I'm going to shade inside the teeth with some of the same navy and black, and then I'm going to go underneath and shade this with a deeper pink. I'm also going to carry this pink down to my throat, filling in the vertebrae with white and shading around it with a little bit of black. I have all of that shading done, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to fill the rest of these oozy places with the same green like we did on the forehead and under my eye. And then I will be back to show you guys how to finish up the nose, the lips, the eyes, and then we'll be done. The rest of that gooey ooziness is filled in. Now we're gonna move on to the nose. The nose, we are going to do a kind of navy blue with a highlight of light blue in the middle, and then we're gonna draw kind of like a typical skeleton nose underneath all of that ribbing. I started out with the same light blue that I used for the tear, all inside of that nose opening. I didn't put any white down first, I just went straight in with my finger. Once it was completely filled in, I then shaded around the inside using the same navy blue and black that we used to shade the entire rest of the face. Using some liquid eyeliner, I then drew a stereotypical skeleton nose within that opening, And once that dries down, I'm going to take a little bit of white and pat that over the center of that nose to give it some dimension. I don't want this drip from the mouth to be any more green since we have a lot of that oozingness going on. Instead, I want it to be like melting skin. So I'm going to pick up the same color that I have in here and in the nose. I'm going to lay down some white first all throughout my lips and all over that drip. Cover that up and then do some shading. I changed my mind. I'm actually going to introduce a new color, which is going to be some of this orange here. Find the brightest orange you can find, and we're going to put that on our lips and in that drip. I'm going to outline that in the typical pop art style, going all around that drip and also in between my lips. I'm then going to shade it with a little bit of a darker orange and go around and shade the outside of the drip with the same navy and black as usual. We're then going to shade around the base of our neck using a light brown followed by a little bit of black in the highest points. We're almost done. I feel like I want to go back and add some more drips inside of some of this other stuff. So I'm just going to take some black liquid eyeliner and add some of those in. I'm also going to add the classic pop art line down the nose and highlight all of that using some white. I'm going to throw on some eyelashes and mascara and finish up the look, and then I will be back to reveal the full thing. This is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my entire Halloween series this year. I will leave all of my videos linked down below in the description bar again if you guys want to check those out as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see what other kinds of things I put out for you guys year round. If you decide to recreate this look, don't forget to tag me on Instagram and Twitter. I love seeing your recreations. I hope you guys have a very happy and fun Halloween. And until next time, bye guys!